Jennifer Lawrence used to be untouchable, the clumsy, charming girl next door who tripped her way up the Oscars stage and into Hollywood's heart. But the internet has a long memory. And now, the cracks in her perfectly polished image are beginning to shatter. Behind the scenes, there's a version of Jennifer Lawrence the public hasn't really seen. A version that's rude to fans, tied to troubling men, and embroiled in scandal after scandal that somehow keeps slipping under the radar. From desecrating sacred Hawaiian land and laughing about it on national television, to falsely claiming she was the first female action star, erasing decades of women before her, to supporting controversial directors and making jokes at the expense of the trans community, the image of quirky and relatable starts to fade. And then there's her husband, Cook Maroney, an elite art dealer who reportedly stole a nude photo of Emily Ratajkowski, lied about it, and hung it in their home like a trophy. This isn't just one bad moment, it's a pattern of behavior that the media has overlooked for years. So why has Hollywood continued to protect her? Why have fans continued to forgive her? And most importantly, who is the real Jennifer Lawrence? Let's dig into the moments that Hollywood wants you to forget. Let's start with the one person Jennifer Lawrence has kept mostly hidden: her husband, Cook Maroney. He's not an actor, not a director, not a public figure. He's an art dealer and a very wealthy one. Coming from a prestigious New York gallery background, Cook was already a multi-millionaire before ever meeting Jennifer. But his wealth and connections haven't kept him out of controversy. In fact, they may have helped bury one of the most disturbing stories in celebrity art circles. In 2014, artist Richard Prince created a controversial exhibit featuring massive blown-up prints of Instagram photos, without the consent of the women in them. One of those women was Emily Ratajkowski. Emily was horrified. She tried to buy the print back to protect her image and privacy, but she was told it was already sold to an anonymous collector. Except, it wasn't. According to insiders, Cook Maroney was the dealer and the buyer. He kept the nude photo of Emily and hung it above the couch in his West Village apartment. When friends of Emily visited his home and saw the image, it sparked shock and outrage. One guest said, "It's like he sits under a naked Emily Ratajkowski every day." Jennifer reportedly found out and was furious and embarrassed. Insiders claimed a feud erupted between Emily and Jennifer's social circles. One source said, "Under no circumstances are they to be invited to the same event." Blind items soon followed, one of which said, A-list actress finally got her husband to take down the nude photo of the hard-to-spell model from their home. Cook never apologized publicly. Jennifer never addressed it. And the photo? Gone, but not forgotten. In an infamous 2016 appearance on The Graham Norton Show, Jennifer thought she was being funny. But what she admitted sparked massive backlash. And rightfully so. She told the audience she scratched her butt on some really good rocks while filming the Hunger Games in Hawaii. What she failed to recognize or care about was that those rocks were sacred to the native Hawaiian people. They weren't just rocks, they were burial stones, resting places for revered ancestors. Kahuna in Hawaiian culture are spiritual guides, healers, and astronomers. These weren't tourist attractions, they were sacred. Jennifer continued her story, laughing as she said that one of the boulders came loose while she was butt-scratching on it, and it rolled down a hill, destroying part of the set and nearly killing a sound guy. And what was her takeaway? "I'm your curse," she joked. "I wedged it loose with my butt." The native Hawaiian community was outraged. Cultural experts issued statements, historians condemned the story, but instead of apologizing on air or in a meaningful way, Jennifer issued a brief Facebook post saying she didn't mean any offense. It came across as hollow, performative, a classic case of Hollywood arrogance wrapped in a joke. If any influencer disrespected a sacred indigenous site today, they'd be canceled immediately. But Jennifer, she walked away unscathed. Jennifer Lawrence's interviews have become legendary for their unfiltered moments, but not always in a good way. She's repeatedly told stories involving major celebrities, only for those celebs to later deny the incidents ever happened. She claimed Miley Cyrus scolded her for vomiting at Madonna's after-party. Miley quickly shut it down, tweeting that it never happened. She told Conan O'Brien she stalked John Stamos at a party and was fangirling all over him. Stamos responded diplomatically, saying he didn't remember anything like that happening. So, was she exaggerating? Or was it all fiction for laughs and headlines? Jennifer also told stories about vomiting before kissing scenes, bragging that she would puke, swish mouthwash, and then go back to filming love scenes like nothing happened. She's proudly called herself a big-time puker, comparing her exhaustion to Lindsay Lohan without the drugs and alcohol. That last comment didn't go unnoticed. Lindsay's sister Allie tweeted, "Disappointed, Jennifer Lawrence, you lost a fan." Lindsay herself responded with a quote, "You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like dust, I rise." Jennifer's also admitted to gossiping about celebrities with her friends, using nicknames like Pickle and Raging Lady. She shared all of this on Watch What Happens Live, giggling while revealing she and her best friend categorized stars like mean girls in a high school cafeteria. At some point, being relatable turns into being reckless, and Jennifer has walked that line far too often. Jennifer Lawrence once admitted on national television that when she walks into public places, she becomes a huge bitch as a defense mechanism. She didn't say she's anxious or that she gets overwhelmed. She said she's rude on purpose. Fans have reported being denied photos with her, even when they approached politely. In one infamous moment at the Golden Globes, she snapped at a reporter who was reading questions off his phone. "You can't live your whole life behind your phone, bro." Turns out the reporter was nervous and using the phone to stay on track. Jennifer then doubled down by mocking him for mixing up the Globes with the Oscars. It was mean, point blank, and it contradicted everything her PR team had worked so hard to build. Jennifer used to be the girl who didn't play the Hollywood game, but now she seems like someone who's mastered the game and weaponized it. When you openly admit to being rude to your own fans and laugh about it, what does that say? Jennifer's most controversial moments aren't limited to awkward interviews or insensitive gossip. She once said on The Ellen Show that she named her cat Chaz Bono because the cat had masculine energy. Chaz Bono is a well-known trans man. The episode aired on Trans Remembrance Day. Ellen tried to steer the conversation away, but the damage was done. Viewers were shocked by the insensitivity, and Jennifer didn't apologize. Then there's her defense of Woody Allen and David O. Russell. She's praised both men despite serious allegations against them. David O. Russell was accused of groping his transgender niece and has multiple recordings of him screaming violently at actors, including Lily Tomlin. George Clooney once reportedly punched Russell on set over his abusive behavior. Yet Jennifer calls him a genius. Then we have the infamous Oscar Falls. Jennifer's 2013 trip up the stairs was endearing. But when it happened again in 2014 and again on the red carpet, people began to ask, was it staged? Even Jared Leto questioned it, suggesting the falls were too perfect, too convenient, and maybe a PR tactic. Jennifer's response, "If I were going to plan it, I'd have done it at the Golden Globes." So, you thought about planning it? For someone who claims to be authentic, there's a lot of performance behind the curtain. Jennifer Lawrence rose to fame on authenticity, but now fans are questioning whether that persona was ever real. She's admitted to being rude in public. She's lied about other celebrities on national television. She laughed about nearly killing a crew member on sacred land. She stayed silent while her husband allegedly displayed a stolen nude image of another woman. And she still defends men like Woody Allen and David O. Russell, men other actors have publicly condemned. Her supporters say she's just being herself. But if herself is entitled, insensitive, and surrounded by predatory energy, maybe that's not something to celebrate anymore. Hollywood has given her a decade-long pass. But the public? We're catching up. This isn't about cancel culture, it's about accountability. It's about questioning the double standards that protect certain celebrities while others are thrown to the wolves. So, who is Jennifer Lawrence really? The clumsy girl who tripped up the stairs? Or the woman who knew exactly how to use that stumble to rise higher? Let us know in the comments. And if this video opened your eyes, make sure to like, subscribe, and share it. Because in a world of PR-crafted stars, it's time we start telling the truth behind the curtain.